Grandma, what's happening to us?
Years ago, I had a premonition that started it all. I saw what death was about to do.
This week I watched the movie Final Destination Bloodlines, and I was worried going in about the tag Bloodlines because of the movie Hellraiser Bloodlines, which was frankly not a great film. And this is now the 6th Final Destination movie, which would seem to show that nothing may be less final than a Final Destination movie. And that statement may leave you with a lot of questions, such as, what is Final Destination Bloodlines? Is it any good? Is it worth watching? What happens in the film? What's the plot? And much like this section from the comedy show Police Squad.
Who are you and how did you get in here?
I'm the locksmith. And I'm the locksmith.
The answer to all of those questions is, it's a Final Destination movie. So what is Final Destination Bloodlines? It's a Final Destination movie, alright. Every Final Destination movie seems to have the same plot. So what is that plot? It's a Final Destination movie. It has the same plot as the other 5 Final Destination movies. Someone has a premonition that a load of people are about to get mangled in a horrible accident. They then save those people. Then a shadowy, invisible Grim Reaper comes to claim all of the people who shouldn't be alive. That seems to be the plot for every one of these movies. The films never seem to go into why people get these premonitions in the first place, and it may be for the best that they don't, because any answer would likely make the films worse. It may be best to just leave it as a mystery. I've maybe seen 2 or 3 of these films, which may count as having seen all of them, and for some unknown reason the Grim Reaper comes to claim the lives of people in such over-the-top, ridiculously contrived ways. Watching the film, it felt to me like the Grim Reaper got bored, and he's treating the world like the board game Mousetrap. You know, where someone will turn a handle and a ball will roll down a slide, which hits another ball and a plastic diver will fly up into the air and land in a pool and a cage will drop on a mouse. It's a lot like that most of the time, just with a really grisly CGI end for one of the characters to follow it. All of the Final Destination movies seem to have the same plot, but that isn't always a bad thing. Is it unoriginal? Yes, it's desperately unoriginal. But if you go to an ice cream shop and ask for ice cream, you aren't disappointed when you get ice cream instead of some kind of vastly original surprise. Sometimes people don't want a surprise. You don't want the woman behind the counter to surprise you by instead bringing you whipped cream served in a frozen shoe. You don't want a frozen sample of thoroughbred horse spunk, even if either of those things would be a very original surprise. Excuse me, madam, I asked for rum and raisin, and you appear to have served me red rum instead. It's like a straight guy meeting a woman in a bar. You go to her house, and at the point when you're both getting undressed, this is not the time when most men, I think, are really looking for a surprise. This is not the time to find out that she has a husband who's about to get back and is an expert in hand-to-hand combat, or to find out she has AIDS, or to find out she has a dick. This movie is oddly sadistic. In one scene, a person gets done in by a hospital magnetic resonance imaging machine that gets turned up until it has the attracting power of a black hole. And I'm not sure why anyone would make that, frankly, but they did. And it pulled the guy's metal piercings out of his ears, then his nose, then his nipples, then his Johnson, in order. Not sure why it would work in sequence, but it did, before attracting a wheelchair that was behind him, which crashes into his back, breaking his spine and impaling him. Weirdly, the film plays people getting mangled for comedy, even if some parts did make me laugh and then feel a bit guilty afterwards. In one scene, some people get unceremoniously mangled and the film just cuts to a band playing the upbeat song Shout by the Isley Brothers. That made me laugh. I would maybe have laughed even more if it had been the Lulu version of the song. The Final Destination movies are like their own weird little genre. In some ways, the Grim Reaper is like a bad guy from a slasher movie from the 80s, but way more nihilistic. Because slasher movies tended to have a weird morality about them. You'd have a group of mostly annoying teens, and they'd all get done in, usually leaving one pure final girl who survived. The teens would usually have some sort of misdemeanour, or do something the film classes as being immoral. They'd make some mistake, like going off alone to smoke pot, or a young unmarried couple would go to bed together without getting married, or someone would make the mistake of being in a slasher movie while being black. In which case, good luck making it out of that movie alive. But in the Final Destination movies, there doesn't seem to be any implied message whatsoever. People just get torn apart for laughs. So, is this movie any good? Same answer, it's a Final Destination movie. Don't go in expecting a masterpiece. But this movie may be my favourite Final Destination of any of the ones I've watched. Oddly, Final Destination and comedy do not go horribly together, but oddly the story is simple and kind of works. The acting is mostly fine. There's a small role for the sadly late actor Tony Todd with his great voice. He was in Candyman, he played Candyman. He was looking really frail in this movie and it made me kind of sad. The lead character in Bloodlines was called Stephanie, and I have no idea what her bloodline was supposed to be, and it was kind of distracting, because the actor playing her dad is called Timpo Lee, and appears to be Chinese, and her mum is played by Rhea Kilstedt, who seems to be North European. Her brother is played by Tio Briones, who is half Filipino and half American and from the UK, and she looks Hispanic. But she's actually half Filipino and half Slovak from Canada, and it was quite confusing because it looked like none of the family were related to each other. I was sat there thinking, is this supposed to be colourblind casting, or am I supposed to infer that the kids were adopted? And her cousin is played by the actress who played Stephanie in the series Gotham Knights, that about 5 people including me watched, so it was actually quite cathartic when Stephanie got crushed in a trash compactor. So should you watch this movie? It's a Final Destination movie. Did you watch any of the other 5? Did you like them? If you did, yes, watch this movie, absolutely. It's a Final Destination movie. It may be the finalist of the Final Destination movies. But if you don't like CGI gore, and you don't like sadism, and you haven't liked the preceding 5 Final Destination movies, absolutely do not watch this Final Destination movie. I cannot stress enough how much you should not watch this film.
Nice beaver.
Thank you. I just had it stuffed.
Let me help you with that.